Hello, in this video we're going to show you what we do to prepare a student violin ready to send out to a customer. The procedure is the same for all the student instruments that we offer. This one is a Primavera 100, a great little beginner outfit. With this one we put D'Addario prelude strings on, which really transform the sound of these instruments. So the Primavera 100, ready to be prepared for playing. The work we do it's not particularly complicated, but it is essential to make these instruments easy to play, to give a beginner violinist the best possible chance of learning the instrument and not having to struggle to get it in tune, and really just makes life a lot easier both for the student and for the teachers as well. So let's go through the process and you can see what we do. So take the instrument out of its case. Just put the case to one side. And we'll start by just loosening the original strings. Take out the bridge. Just put the bridge lightly into position so I can check the string height. So on the E we're looking for 3 millimeters, that's fine. Just under 5 millimeters on the G. Again, that's fine for this instrument. So we'll take off these original strings. And we'll discard those. Little piece. So we'll do the pegs. For that we'll need some sandpaper. So the next job is the pegs. They'll need a little bit of adjusting just to check that they turn smoothly. The string holes are in the right place, so we'll just on the G. I use the sandpaper, and then this one has a little bit of oil on it, and that takes the shininess off the peg. Now we'll do some pasting. Put that one in, give it a turn. That's okay. And then carry on with the other three. Finally the A. So now I've put plenty of paste on these pegs, and I want it to bed well into the hole so that the peg will turn nice and smoothly but won't slip. So in a moment I'm going to go back and put another dose of paste on the pegs. Right, so now we're going to look at the top nut where the strings go, and it's important that this isn't too high. On these instruments I find they often can be a little high, so I'm just going to lower that a little bit. Mark out the string grooves. That's still a little high. I'm just marking the grooves again because I don't want to have to set to with a divider and measure up the spacing, so I'm just doing this as I go to maintain this correct spacing. Okay. Right. I'm happy with that height now. We'll just smooth off that top nut. Get it nice and neat. And now we'll put plenty of 2B pencil lead in the grooves. This is really important, helps the strings slide, stops them catching and breaking, makes tuning more accurate. So there we go. And then now we'll just put a second dose of paste on the pegs. The first lot has been absorbed into the wood of the peg box, so we'll just put another go on. That's the E peg, and finally the A. So each peg has had 2 good doses of peg paste, and that will really make life a lot easier for teachers and anyone tuning the instrument. So there we go. So the next job now is the bridge. We just need to check that the curvature on the top of the bridge is correct. This is really important to make it easy to play each string individually, and a bit later on when double stopping comes in, but it's more really for this situation is, as I say, just so that each string can be played easily. So I'm just correcting this curve. It is a little bit flat. Okay, and then we're taking any sharp edges off the top of the bridge, which again can cause the string to get stuck and potentially the cover of the string can come loose. So we just want a nice smooth top surface, rounded paper. Okay, so the top surface of the bridge is now nice and smooth and ready for the string grooves. Spacing on a full-size violin is 34 millimeters. Now I do this by eye, this spacing, to get it central, because I've done it hundreds of times over the years. Divide by 3. Mark it with a knife. And then mark the grooves with my file, not too deep, just enough to locate the string. Now, depending on the strings that you're going to use, some of the strings, the student strings, will have what are called string protectors. That's usually the E and the A. The D and G generally don't. So the string that's going straight on the bridge needs plenty of graphite in the groove. I'm going to do this on this one with the G and the D. The A and E don't need it because they have bridge protectors. So then, to stop the bridge slipping on the front of the instrument, we'll just put some good quality chalk on the feet. So that's all ready. Now the tail piece, we're just going to make sure the tail loop isn't too long. So it needs to go over the end pin and clear the saddle and be as close as possible without the tailpiece actually touching the saddle. So this one is a little bit long. I'm just going to shorten it a bit because these nylon tail loops, they can stretch. So they can stretch initially. So we'll get that tailpiece as close as we possibly can without touching the saddle. That's okay. Right, now just going to loosen off the adjusters and we can put the strings on. So start with the G. Just feeling the string, that it's no marks or defects in it. Hook over on there. Now for the initial tuning, I'm doing on the pegs alone. I'm not using the adjusters at all because the tail gut is stretching, and we just so it's just an initial tuning. We're going to leave the instrument now. Over a period of time we're going to come back and tune up several times before I'm finally satisfied that everything is nice and stable and it's ready to go. And it can, as I say, it can take 2, 3, 4 even tunings before the tail loop on the tailpiece stabilizes, and even these metal strings will stretch a little bit initially, so we just give it enough time to make absolutely sure that the instrument will stay in tune for as long as possible, and it's ready to play immediately it goes to the customer. So finally I'll just take up any slack on the fine tuners, just the tiniest amount, so they're not loose, otherwise they can rattle. And that's it really. Okay, so thanks for watching. Bye bye.